So, do you think, how are you finding music so far? Consuming music. You were talking about consuming music, right?
Yeah, I'm just, I've had some interesting developments going on, and the market, to me, I just stepped into the management, as I said, I'm not like hiding shit like Rob. I just stepped into the management game,
Yeah.
Obviously I've been in the game 15 years, like, pirate radio days, presenting, voiceover, and now I've stepped into the A&R management world, and obviously I've been studying the game for a minute, and where it's going, and it's developing, it's going, online is crazy, streaming's mental right now. Radio is becoming, slightly hitting to the stage where it's becoming, I feel like a bonus really. It's no longer the only place.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that,
to
100%.
progress. So it's good to really just have a good radio tour going, for your promo. So I'm just seeing the market shift, where people are really appreciating what streaming is doing, with Spotify and Apple Music. I believe Apple Music and Spotify are the future.
So let's say off the top of your head, right, if you got like a random artist A or whatever, and they come to you and they're like, right, I've made all my music, how do I get it on Spotify, how do I get it on iTunes, how do I do this, how do you go about that?
Yeah, well that's really goes down to just doing a little research. There's so much online distributions, places where they can distribute that to every one of those channels for you for a fee. So independently, that's really just a click of a button. You just click of a button, pay your money, that gets distributed to all the streams you need. It's as simple as that. But if you're going forward as an artist nowadays, you better have that in place. I don't want to. I could be speaking to a 14-year-old kid and like, if your music's not on Spotify, then it's a bit of a madness for you. If I hear your name being said, and I can't find your name on Spotify or Apple or something, then
waste of time,
I don't take you seriously. That's me personally. If I'm a radio presenter and you want to get music to me,
and what about
I'm not taking you
SoundCloud?
seriously. SoundCloud, I feel, is more a discovery thing now. It's gone back to that real grassroots vibe where it's gone back to that discovery again. But I still feel it's lost a bit of clout. It's lost a bit of its juice and its pizzazz.
I'm glad you said that clout, actually, that word clout, because there's a thing at the moment where a lot of things to be happening, especially in the music scene, is where things are getting done just for clout and talent is getting overlooked.
Yeah, talent getting overlooked. Yeah. But that's just part of the game now. That's what I mean. It's like the game has changed. There's a whole new lane for social media artists. That's a whole new industry in itself. Social media.
Is it though?
Yeah, it's an industry. It's definitely an industry.
Is it a long-term industry though?
Well, for now, it's not going to disappear for at least a year or two. What do you reckon? What's your opinion?
I don't know, like even like this guy who's coming fast or whatever, like yeah, I don't know, man. I can't really. It's very how can I describe it? It's comical, which is fine, and there's people who want to cash in on it. That's fine as well, but it's a novelty. So I feel like Osh, is it Osh, the guy who done the Yay thing? He's an actual artist, right? He's an actual artist, and he ended up doing that, right? Which is good because he's an actual artist. He's not but he turned into a bit of a meme. But that's good. But I feel like people who just got famous off a meme, and then they're just trying to cash in on it. I'm not really feeling that, man. I'm not really feeling that, especially when there's a lot of artists out there who's been putting in the graft and they're not getting the recognition, I suppose. It can be frustrating. I mean, I'm not an artist, but I can understand how it would be.
Yeah, but I wouldn't get frustrated because at the end of the day, if you're good, you will come through, man. You will come through. The music.
Nah, well, if you're
Let me finish. The music will really, if you really believe you have got rhythms, you will do your thing. Your tune will get there because the power of the music, it will always come to the forefront, in my opinion. But what I'm trying to say is there's a lane for social media artists and that novelty. It's just part of the game now. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. Okay. It's not something that's new no more. We've seen many novelties over the last year or to 2 years. So that can show you that that's a regular pattern. That's not something that's disappearing anytime soon. And because we have social media around, Instagram, your Twitter, these things are going viral on these little Facebook meme things. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's a meme. We got meme artists mixed with social media artists and a whole nother lane. And if it transfers into views and all of that, then that can get labels interested and they will sign it, put it out. And we call that, what I was talking to my artist about, is that we call that fast food artists, you know. There's home cooked artists that are good meals, You know, good chicken and rice and peas and, you know what I mean, long-term food, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Homely, good, long quality, that's going to last for a long time. Then you got your fast food artists that are going to be here for a day, gone tomorrow. That's just part of the game now. So I think artists shouldn't complain, shouldn't whine about real artists that believe they've got real talent shouldn't complain about that kind of vibe. You know what I mean? They should just run with it, keep it moving. That's just a lane for them artists. You and your lane, that's it.
I agree that to an extent, but talent isn't important. That's why I differ. Because I believe that the whole thing as an artist, talent, when you really think about it, only plays a small part. Now, that's not to sound, you know, dismissive. I'm saying you've got talent, which is a small part, but the things that contribute to that, of course, are like hard work and all the rest of it, right? But some people can be the most talented person ever, but if they're lazy, they're not.
I'm not saying all them components. I'm assuming you have them components. I've gone to the point of talking. Oh, you need to do hard work. You need to be because you can't even check for me personally. Not an arrogant one, like because I've been dealing with artists for a long time now. You can't even come on my radar really at this stage if you're not working hard, because I'm trying to work hard. So you need to meet me halfway. If I know if you're not on Spotify, you're not on Apple, you're not on all these podcasts, I can't. That's not, so I assume that already.
Yeah.
So me I have to think at a certain level at this stage, because then I can't even take you seriously. So I assume that you're doing that anyway, and then go from there. Because if me being a former artist myself, you know, I was never worried. I would never think about. If I was an artist, I wouldn't be thinking about my time. Will be focused on my pen and building my career. Like it wouldn't be focused on that social media artist, They're doing their thing over there. I may find that as laughter and comical. Just a little banter for me. Like, we gotta have laughter as well, man. It's not all serious. So let the game have the funny moments. The fast food artists here, and then the real healthy, good green meals and all of them artists over there. Like you know what I mean. And long-term food, good artists will come to the forefront. It's just ethics. It always does. Real talent. Combining, you got all the credentials, you'll always rise to the top. You know what I mean? If you're paranoid about them artists, then boy, you got something to work on. Like, you know, maybe you're insecure. You ain't think them artists are better than you. Them novelty artists, then you know. yeah. So, what's your the landscape of the game? Way I oversee it is, you know, you're gonna have to adapt, man. You have to accept all of these social media artists, and you have to be ready to ride. And make sure you're aware of what Spotify and Apple Music are doing right now, because I believe those are two big movements of the future. Yeah. And a lot of other kind of old formats. Even the way you look at the way Apple do radio, you know what I mean? Their whole thing is, even their way of radio is like, they got a station in New York, London, UK. It's all worldwide, so it's a very different format to the whole conventional thing. So it's an interesting thing what I've been seeing, what they're doing over there. And I've been paying close attention to both of them, but from what I'm seeing, from when I'm talking to talent and just general fans, you know, that's what they're messing with, and they've been messing with for a while, and I don't see nothing stopping those two kind of formats at the moment. And radio, like, I believe now it's kind of a thing where we're like an add-on now. You know,
I would never say it's a necessity now, especially with what's happening with streaming as well, and it's been like that for a while. Since the arrival really of social media and the ability to stretch your music wherever you want, it's not about radio as much. Still important to a certain degree, but if you're an artist, you know, you need to make sure your social, because some labels don't even fuck with people whose numbers aren't up, social media numbers aren't up. They just won't consider you.
But again, I disagree, because like, you know, I believe that, again, I'm a true believer in the old school, like where if you're a bad man or a bad girl or whatever artist, you've got all the components, the hardware, all of that jazz,
the package.
You will rise to the format because you're so confident of what you do. You're a Ronaldo with this thing. You're a Messi. You're so confident. You're watching everybody do their thing, but you know your thing. Your manager, whoever, they know you know your thing. So you're not worried about it. You know that, you know, I've been in places where you bring an artist to this person or whatever, label or whatnot, and, you know, they believe in the talent. And it's more than the numbers and this thing about development is dead and there's a lot of this stuff, and it's a lot of talk from people who don't really know, man. It's like, but they say all this talk and it's like, man, real talent will always rise, bro. Like real good talent organic talent will always come to the format, and I want artists to realise that, man. Don't believe that the hype of all this novelty is just it's all that people are liking. There's always room for the real cooked food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright, what's your next topic, man? Come on, man. Come on, bro. Don't stall. No pauses out here, G. What are you saying, Rob? What's going on, blood? What's your next topic, family? You brain dead, G. Why? Look at your phone if you have to. Don't worry, it's cool.
Where's it?
Come on, bro. You can't be having no pauses, bro. Come on. Fast flow. Like Busta Rhymes, G.
Oof, no one got that Busta Rhymes flow, man.